Sup guys, so decided to try a little something different. Went with pure Tenpai but with board breakers for the beginning of the season. We're like 1 week into the season. I started at Diamond 5, now I'm in Diamond 3. Not been too bad. Been playing like board breakers with a few hand traps and pure Tenpai. This is what I've been playing. It's been cool. It's kind of cool. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Pure Tenpai is kind of boring me to death. It's kind of boring though, compared to Sky Striker and just decks in general. But meh. I've been playing this. It's been going good. This is the best mixture of hand traps and board breakers I could figure out. So you've got staples, obviously, for Maliss. So yeah, I've managed to climb easy so far. But one thing I will say is I don't think people are playing as serious right now as they will be, considering the new Maliss stuff ain't out yet. Well, the Allied Code Talker and Backup Secretary and all of them. And we're only a week into the season. Like normally, me at least, I just mess around for like the first week or so, like first 2 weeks. Before then, I'm just like, okay, cool. Now let me start climbing. You know, because when you start off in Diamond 5, it's kind of just like cool. I can't rank down, so I can play whatever I want. But so that's kind of what my thinking was with this, and then I just kind of ended up ranking up. It's been cool. I'd consider dropping Imperm maybe for some more Charmies or whatever. Same goes for Magnemute. I never drew into Magnemute, so that's really good. Like Magnemute could probably be Foolos or whatever. Imperm could probably be a Foolos or Perulia. Do you know what's crazy? I swear to God, I draw less Tenpai in my opening hand. Less starters, as in one of the Tenpai stuff, Dora, Gold Sark. I draw that less playing this than I do in Sky Striker when I've only got 2 Hydra, 2 Genroku, and 1 Chandra. I swear to God, this is another one I'd consider cutting, because every friggin' game you draw this in your opening hand is fucked. It's not good. There was something else in the extra deck I was like, where, so yeah, what's he called? Odd Eyes. There was a few times I was like, okay, now let me go into Odd Eyes, and then I realized I didn't have Odd Eyes in the extra deck, and I was like, this is one I'd consider adding. I guess maybe Queebelt could go. Dunno. But that's this deck in a nutshell. Like, obviously, Ultimate Slayer is mental right now. Forbidden Droplet is always mental. Same goes with Impulse. Same goes with Red Rubu. Super Poly's mental as well. It's just I cut it down to 2 because I kept drawing into it. Lancia because you're gonna face a lot of Maliss. And once the Allied Code Talk stuff comes, I don't even know. Do you keep running this? I don't think you do. Yeah. Maliss is gonna be insane. This next month's meta will be ridiculous, man. But it's okay because I love Sidebus, so it's all good. That's the deck. Enjoy the replays, man. I'm gonna go back to Sky Striker, Tenpai, and Maliss for the rest of this season, I think, with a little bit of Ryzeal maybe. And who knows, maybe I'll play Hand Trap Tenpai again in the future sometime. But it'll be a very, very long time because it's when you go Sky Striker, like straight board breaker stuff, playing this is boring as hell. I ain't gonna lie, it's boring. But yeah, enjoy.